You've inherited your mother's jewelry, but you're not sure what to do with it. There are a couple of pieces that you'll keep for sentimental reasons, but what should you do with the rest? To answer that question, we've invited Andrew Fabricant of Fab on Fifth to join us on the Dollar Structure interview. Hi, I'm Gary Foreman, editor of thedollarstructure.com. Andrew Fabricant is a partner at Fab on Fifth, a nationwide leader in buying diamonds and estate jewelry. His family has been in the business for over 100 years and is recognized worldwide for their ability to assess each item of jewelry, not only for its intrinsic worth, but its aesthetic value and its market desirability and history. Andrew, thanks for joining us today.
How are you?
I'm doing well, Andrew. Thank you for asking. Now, I'm far from an expert on jewelry, as you found out in our earlier interview. Strikes me that there's probably three levels of jewelry that most people have at home. The garden variety kind of pieces, maybe up to a few $100s. The middle price kind of things up to a few thousand, and things that are truly valuable over that. Is that an accurate assessment, and is there an easy way to tell which is which?
It seems everybody's got a little of everything. You asked me to talk about the baby boomers and how it affects them. So the baby boomers, as far as I understand it, and I guess I'm in the last year of it, 1964-65, and others a little earlier in the mid to late 40s, where, I should say, the most influential spenders, buyers, and savers in the marketplace. So most of the boomers have obviously an engagement ring or two these days, and they have jewelry from when they were younger that was their own, and they are now moving into a position where many of them are inheriting different types of jewelry. So the baby boomer collection really spans an entire generation's worth of jewelry.
Now, one thing that most of us boomers run into is, for instance, my parents. I don't know exactly what they bought and when they bought it, and so it's hard for me to evaluate what really has value. I mean, you watch Antiques Roadshow, and you want to. You see the guy who bought a piece of jewelry for a few dollars at an estate sale, and I want to avoid being the guy who sold to him. And how can you tell when you have a valuable piece of jewelry? Are there any telltale marks or things that would help a person?
Well, yeah, there are carat markings on each piece of jewelry. Usually, if it's gold, it would be 14 or 18 carat. Might have more value than a 9 or a 10 carat piece of jewelry. Silver has markings on it as well, but the truly valuable pieces, you almost intrinsically will know. If you have any questions, I would send pictures to people like me across the country who are professional buyers and professional jewelers, and they can give you an idea before you put it up on an estate sale for little or no money.
Now, I know in the past you've told me that local jewelers are often not the best place to sell pieces like this because of their limited market. Could you expand on that for viewers, please?
Sure. Well, when you sell to one jeweler or one retailer in your local area, you only have exposure to that jeweler and their clients. So in today's world, people like me are much more reachable. So you can send me pictures and descriptions of the jewelry that you have, and we can value them to today's marketplace all over the country. We have access to retailers in every state, usually every county, that has, and different items of jewelry will sell for more money in one place than they will another. We have a brokerage service where we will professionally market jewelry for people that are considering liquidating it. We arrange it so that we insure every piece of jewelry in our care, and then go out and try and secure the highest and best user for that piece of jewelry. We also have a large private following, so we have the advantage of being both a potential retailer for your jewelry as well as retail clients, meaning the retailers themselves all over the nation, allowing us to take advantage of each market and what's hot and what's not in those markets.
Right. Now, I suppose, I mean, the internet has, I'm sure, been a big help to a firm like yours, but the fact that you've been in business for 4 generations, you probably know everybody in the business at this point, right?
Well, unfortunately, the business has been shrinking a little bit as the economy was tough and retailers, well, a lot of smaller retailers closed their doors. So it becomes more and more important to have the connections that we do to place the items in the right place. So we will market it to the people that we know, one, will pay, and two, have the best opportunity to sell it.
Yeah. And I assume that there can be a fair difference in price between the right buyer and the wrong buyer for an item, right?
Yes, it can be tremendous. My cousin Peter pulled off a miracle deal last year where he knew one of our manufacturers was hired to build a magnificent necklace. And the center stone was missing on this necklace. That's all they needed. And we ended up purchasing a stone, or really marketing the stone to this dealer for a client, and ended up getting them probably about 60% more than they would have otherwise, because the dimensions fit exactly what the jeweler needed.
Fantastic.
You can't cut a diamond to fit a requirement. You have to find a diamond that fits the need.
Mm-hmm. Now, on you know, for people like me who aren't used to dealing with, you know, higher end jewelry, you know, what kind of dollar amounts do you typically see on pieces?
Well, I've been asked that many times. What's the average price point? Usually, when you're selling jewelry, you're selling a collection of jewels. So the price point on an average is usually fairly high. $5,000, I would think, would be the lower end of the median. We buy pieces at we bought a piece yesterday from a gentleman for $130. So we'll buy anything, but when you're selling estate jewelry or you're looking to raise money for better purposes, we usually end up buying entire estates or certainly multiple pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So although you may not think when you bought it in the 80s it's worth anything today, we have resources to market them too. So any jewelry, gold or better, starts adding up in value. Surprisingly, adding up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I remember what gold was selling for back in the 80s when I was a broker. And that,
right.
Yeah, it's a little different price today.
So today, the baby boomer generation, once having been the main purchasers of jewelry, are now looking to sell a lot of jewelry because they have a much larger role in their child's financial situation than any generation before them. They have 529 plans to donate to. They have kids moving back in with them. They have tremendous expenses that my parents didn't have, that now I guess someday I will, but the older end of the baby boomers has a tremendous financial responsibility for generations after them, as opposed to generations before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see boomers be net sellers at this point. And
right. Sorry.
I was going to say, I've been fortunate enough to spend a little time on the FabOnFifth.com website. You know, tell us a little bit about that and about your retail business in Manhattan.
Well, we actually are rebuilding the site now to make it a little bit more inviting and easier to find out information. But the current site describes what we do and how we do it. It's really a very easy thing to sell jewelry today and get information about it online. A simple email sends you in my direction, and I answer all of the emails we receive personally. So I think it's important to note that as a human being, we understand that selling jewelry is not always the easiest thing, that there are emotions involved, as well as life change events involved. So if you've retired and you don't wear that jewelry anymore, it seems silly to have it sit in a safety deposit box, pay insurance on it, and never wear it. If you're divorced, which many of the baby boomers are, unfortunately, having a ring, an engagement ring, or the jewelry that existed throughout the marriage sit there and do nothing because it's not associated with any pleasantries anymore or any anniversaries that you might no longer want to celebrate, it seems also a intelligent thing to do, to take the step forward. And I speak to a lot of people going through life change events, divorce, the loss of a loved one. It's maybe not the happiest business I'm in, but we get to help people take a step forward in life, move forward in the right direction. And also we end up with a lot of intelligent people who just realize to be fiscally responsible, it makes sense if you're not going to wear it anymore, selling it and either investing it, putting it in the bank, saving it for a rainy day, retirement accounts, IRAs, 529 plans. These are all things that our money, if you look at it that way, has gone to enhance people's lives. We've also saved the rainforest and the ASPCA and things like that. So I think selling jewelry is a positive step forward, no matter which way you look at it. The gift, if it was inherited, was given so that you would enjoy it. It wasn't given to just sit and waste away in a box.
Fantastic. Well, we'll make it for viewers that are contemplating that. We'll list the website and make it easy for them to follow up with you. Andrew, we appreciate your wisdom, and we'd ask our viewers to join us again on the Dollar Stretcher interview. Thank you.